This is an intelligent solar supplier. This system uses sunlight to drive food. We have seen that in our communities, where people farm, they often tend to post-harvest losses and all that due to improper ways of drying the food. So with this system, they can pre-dry the food before it goes back. To use it, it's very simple. Open this chamber, which is here, then put your food inside it. So there's an electronic compartment here that is responsible for watching and to keep track of the temperature.
The students in Ghana are doing more practical than theory. The junior high school students, the senior high school students, in fact, the SHS students in Ghana are now doing more practical than theory. And the Minister of Education in Ghana contributes so much in the growth of educational system in Ghana. Please, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining. If you are new here, hi, thanks for joining. Please do not make it your last by subscribing.
From our high technologies, we are here to demonstrate about the water.
So in most times of our lives, we realize that if the water in our poly tank goes low, we have to go and switch on the pump for it to start flowing itself. But then we decided to create a float switch, and in a controlling way that when the water goes low in the poly tank, water can come by itself without any human disappearance. So that you don't have to disturb yourself anytime your water goes low in the house. The water can just start pumping by itself. This is the float switch. This is the water pump. And this is our motor. Our lights that serves as a motor for us to pump the water into the buckets. So anytime, this is how the level goes. So anytime the water level goes low, it says it and just starts to pump the water inside. But anytime it realizes that the water level has gone high, it just stops pumping all of the time. So that the water does not overflow. So this time.
I can shift the education from humanities to the STEM-related fields and actually do STEAM. To have a holistic kind of education. And also, I believe that we cannot educate 21st century children in 19th century buildings and expect 21st century outcomes. I mean, you can't have schools under trees and buildings are falling apart and you are telling yourself, I can still make them the best in the world. It's not going to happen. So I was fortunate when I became the Minister for Education. By the way, I was a deputy before that, but I became minister. I went to the World Bank. They had already given us some funds to transform education in Ghana. And I told them, I need part of the money to be dedicated to school buildings. Yeah. And now you're going to see some beautiful school buildings that we've done. And it has even given us a rare opportunity to cut down the cost of education. Because what is happening is that in villages and towns, you may have 7 junior high schools. And each one of them had their own mathematics teacher, their own English teacher. Now, when I go to a town, a mid-sized town, I put one huge facility that takes 1,200 students. I cut down the number of teachers needed by 40%. Because the teacher-student ratio in the junior high schools in Ghana is 1:12. Every school has a math teacher. Therefore, a school with 50 students have 13 teachers. So I'm using the infrastructure overhaul to drive a major reorganization of our junior high school system. Put it at a place where in a village with a town with 841 students, a mid-sized town, 841 students, they have 84 teachers. Because the Methodist school has its own math teacher, the Anglican school has their own mathematics teacher. Therefore, in most of the schools, teachers go to school and they don't have enough students to teach. In junior high schools, you teach on Monday, you wait till Wednesday. You're doing part-time work for full-time pay because of how you have developed your infrastructure. So we move the buildings, and these are some of them. We are moving the buildings into 21st century, equip junior high schools with biology, chemistry, physics labs, and at the same time reduce the number of teachers in such a way that I reduce the cost. In fact, the mathematics shows that in 15 years, the reduction in the teacher force can help me. Wow. So the building is giving us quality education, but I'm rationalizing deployment of teachers in such a way that I'm saving on 40% in any town where I built this. So it's a win-win all around. But it takes reorganization, rethinking, then to be able to do what people thought was impossible, reducing cost of education per child.
So, this is Dr. Yao Osei Edichum, Ghana's Minister for Education, known for his bold vision to transform the country's education system, and he is making that vision a reality. At the core of his plan is moving away from the outdated education system that hasn't served Africa well, and instead promoting STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. His goal is to equip young Ghanaians with the skills they need to thrive in today's rapidly changing world.
One of the things that we preparing to go to PISA, but I also realize that we have to look at our local assessment regime. Invariably, we think that in education we have what we call CIA, curriculum, instruction, and assessment. So we do that so well. But what we fail to understand is that assessment comes first. The outcome that you want, the product the students have to create. You are looking at how to solve certain mathematical equations. Then you work your way backwards to look at, is the curriculum covering that, and how am I going to teach it? About 6 months ago, I had a meeting with the West African Examination Council. They are the one who examine all students in Anglophone West Africa. And people see them as an international organization. But I called them to my office and I said, we have a new curriculum at the junior high school level. Give me a table of specification as to the level of difficulty of the questions that are going to come on this exam. So I popped up on my screen in my office the new Bloom's taxonomy. And I took them through it. The level 1, which is remembering. On a particular subject, 20 of the questions out of 40 were on remembering. Understanding had 10 questions. So that gives you, between understanding and remembering, have 30 questions out of 40. And application was 10. Nothing on the exams was coming from level 4, 5, and 6. So what did that mean? What it meant, it would have meant for the country was that the following year, the teachers were not going to use critical thinking. They will not have to design lesson plans at 4, 5, and 6 because the exams is just level 1, 2, and 3. So I told them, you go back. And I said, this is a case where the tail is wagging the dog. We have created a national curriculum that says we will have critical thinkers. And as I've even gone to United Nations to talk about we can't memorize our way out of poverty.
Dr. Edichum took his mission to the global stage. He participated in the high-level press summit of the future at Columbia University, organized by the International Conference on Sustainable Development. At the summit, he highlighted the need for transformative education with a strong emphasis on building solid foundations for learning from early age.
I'm not new to America. I did not lose my accent living here for 26 years. So don't make a mistake and think I'm just coming from Ghana. I live here for 26 years in Los Angeles. I was a high school mathematics teacher and then got crazy and decided to join the movement to change education. I became a charter school founder. I founded 3 charter schools and they're all doing well in South LA. And that is when the current president came to America, heard of me, came to find me, and he asked me a very simple question that changed my life. Would you consider coming back to Ghana to help me change the education system? I responded, and took me back to Ghana after 26 years, literally going back to a country that I did not know much about. I had left the place. But I was determined that we could do some work there. So I sat here through the philosophy class, even if it's at the tail end. Then I began to revise my education philosophy notes from University of Southern California, where I did my PhD and began to take a look at social reconstructionism, which is how do you use education to transform society. So at the Transforming Education Summit, I was sitting there thinking about, we are transforming education, but for a country like Ghana, education carries a dual burden. You are not just there transforming individuals, but you have to position education to transform your country.
This is an intelligent solar food dryer. This system uses sunlight to dry food. We have seen that in our communities where people farm, they often tend to post-harvest losses and all that due to improper ways of drying the food. So with this system, they can pre-dry the food before it goes bad. To use it, it's very simple. Open this chamber, which is here, then put your food inside. So there's an electronic compartment here that is responsible for watching and to keep track of the temperature inside and outside. So my brother here will turn on the inverter for us to get cruise mainly where there is sunlight. So with this system, it will be able to power it. And if you are somewhere where there's no sunlight, you can use the grid system also. So you press the switch, then the system turns on. And when you press this switch also, it illuminates the whole system. In case it's in the night and you can't see, this light will enable you to see what's inside and what you can navigate through the system with these patterns. If you are drying maize or any food crop, you can go online and search what is the desired temperature that it needs. Then you use these patterns here to set it to the high and low temperature. There are certain food that they require a range of temperature. It's a heater underneath the system which is able to heat it even in the night. There's no sunlight. How do I dry it? This heater will be able to produce heat for it to be dry. And these fans are responsible for cooling the system. So in case the temperature is high, these fans will activate and draw out the hot air. And you can see that there's a shiny material inside. This material is actually a foil, an aluminium foil that is to repel the heat. So it will not allow the heat to escape from the system. The heat will be kept in it and it will be circulated around. System is mainly used for rural areas with our conclusion that food is lost and it is gone wasted. So we have designed the system mainly for the rural areas where they are in intense farming and mostly this food crops go waste due to improper methods of drying. So with this system you can be able to dry food as
the way the growth of Ghana educational system is growing so fast. Of course, Ghana educational system have always proven number one in Africa. Ghana educational system do not start today. The foundation of education in Ghana have already been laid down since time of memorial. They have always have good educational system in the country. That have been the priority of the leaders. When they come into power, they always take educational system in Ghana so serious. You always see them talk about the growth of educational system in Ghana. So when you see the way Ghana educational system is growing, it's not a joke, it's growing so fast. And the Minister of Education really came prepared. This man came prepared to take Ghana educational system to the standard of the US because that is the goal for him. When you see him talk, you see that he have the vision, the passion to join the educational system in Ghana. Yes, like I said, Ghana educational system have always been doing well, but the Minister of Educational System in Ghana really want to change the old narrative, even though that Ghana educational system have always been the best, but this man came prepared. After living a country for 26 years, coming back to Ghana, of course, he came prepared to change his country educational system in the country. That is one thing I love and admire so much about Ghanaians. They always want to bring back to their society. Going to the States, living there for 26 years, so this man have the vision to come back home, to give back to his people what he have learned. Building schools in the state, he said, why not I can come back to my country to also do amazing things in my country, to change the narrative, to change the educational system in my country. And this man is doing nothing, but he has been doing amazing things. We have seen a lot of videos. I have seen a lot of videos. This man have done so much and contribute, building new schools, help of the government in the country, contribute to this man, what he have for the country. They have been doing amazing in the educational system in Ghana. Trust me, I am so proud for Ghanaians because you guys are lucky to have these great leaders who have the interests of the people at heart. I wish we can have one leader like this to come and speak the way this Minister of Education is talking about the educational system in Ghana. The last time I come across the Minister of Education in Nigeria, I think I did a video regarding that video. I wish I can play, click on the video, but I'm going to tag that video to this video so you can check in the description to see that video. When the Minister of Educational System in Nigeria was talking, like I can't even pin any meaning for the plan of educational system in Nigeria. There was no meaning. They were asked a question, what do you think about the educational system? I can't really see anything to write home about. To me, some people can see something to talk about, but for me, there was no meaning to what this man, there was no plan of moving the Nigeria educational system. But you can see all the leaders in Ghana, they are trying their best to make sure to at least to make the educational system in Ghana a standard. Ghanaians have been enjoying educational system not today. You hardly see an illiterate in Ghana, trust me. You hardly see somebody that did not go to junior high school or senior high school in Ghana. They are always be going to school. Ghanaians, they love education. But if you go to Nigeria, of course, you will definitely see people that will tell you that I've never been to school before because it's not their fault. I don't blame them. Do you know why? In Nigeria, the public education is nothing to write home about. I am telling you because I went to public school for 1 year. Trust me, that 1 year I went to public school in Nigeria, it was a terrible experience. I have to cry for my father to please take me out from that school. Because when I go to school, there was no desk for me to sit. There was a lot in that experience. So when I see things like this, I am happy to celebrate. And I'm also telling you, if I see any good leaders, good minister of education in Nigeria who have this same interest, trust me, I will bring it to you guys to see that at least our prayer is beginning to be answered in Nigeria. Our leaders are ready to do something about our education because three things that is my problem in Nigeria. Trust me, there are three things I want that country to have. One, electricity, 24-hour electricity. Because we have electricity though, but it's not 24 hours. Two, healthcare system in the country. Three, educational system in the country. In fact, I think it's 5. 4, security. A lot, I can't name it, but if they can fix these 4 things for me, security, healthcare, education, and electricity, trust me, I don't care if they want to eat all the country money, no problem. But these things, if we can have these basic things in my country, I will never complain about anything. At least I will appreciate those things they have done for the country and for the citizens of Nigeria if we can have these things in our country. But when I see these things in Ghana, I am so proud. I wish that I can have the same thing in my country. Not that I'm doing it for fun. No, if you watch me, you know that I really want a change in my country. So when I see these things, trust me, Ghanaians, you people are really, really trying for the young youth because these are the youth of tomorrow. If you give them a good educational system like this, of course, their learning environment is standard. They will be focused to learn. So I'm happy for the youth. I'm happy for them that at least they are able to have this quality education because everything is the foundation. If the foundation is laid well, of course, the roots will be stand. So if this educational system is well laid well like this for the young ones in Ghana, of course, moving forward, they will do so well and they will bring back to the country. That is one thing for sure. So please, if you have not liked the video, do me well by hitting the like button. And don't forget to drop your comment below of what you think of this video, okay? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notification bell so whenever I post a new video, you will not miss out on my future content. Share with a friend who would love to watch this video with you. And I will see you in my next video. Bye for now and stay blessed.